All right. Hello, students. Welcome to the math class. So today I'm bringing a methods question from the last year's Northern Hemisphere. The curriculum, as I mentioned, they are same, but as unfortunately due to the exam seasons, the Northern Hemisphere will hold the exam every June and July. So predict on the Northern Hemisphere paper is very, very helpful to predict what the question and target for our side this year. Okay, this is actually the last question from the exam two. So let's go through it. This is the algebra question and discuss about the trigonometry, the circular functions. First one, state the amplitude of the functions. So this question is very friendly because the leading coefficient is giving you the positive 2. So you don't have to worry about should you write the negative 2 or positive 2. Please remember that for the amplitude, you should always give the modulus. All right, so here the answer is 2. And you had a 1 mark. Next one, find the range of the functions. So the range, you have to find out all the possible or the interval for the y value. So in here, the fx is the y value. Then you have to think about it. The range gonna including the minimum value and the maximum value. And for the sign, you can including the ending values. So when would you have minimum value? When sign equal to -1. You don't have to worry about the domain or the x values. So when sign is -1, then times 2 is -2 plus 1, that's -1. Maximum number, no matter how you change your x values, the maximum of the sign always be +1. So 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1, that's 3. So the interval for the range of the function is from -1 to 3 inclusive. C part, the first one, gave the general solution for the fx equal to 0. As we did such question in the exam 2, you can grab your calculator using the technology to solve it. Although some of you may confuse, sometimes happen, right? Once you check the screen on your CAS, it may mention using the N1 or N2. That is actually the variable to represent the integers, okay? But the general method, this kind of question also may happen in the exam 1, so I will explain the method how to do it, all right? If we need to find out the solutions, we just set up the equations equal to 0, and then we just try to isolate it and make the sign equal to the -1/2. So let's imagine when we can have sign is equal to a -1/2. So sign -1/2 is gonna be the bottom side, the quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. If the sign located on the quadrant 3 and the sign value is -1/2, then the angle would be the pi and then plus the extra pi over 6. Then the 3x gonna be the 7 pi out of 6, all right? And then on the other side, if the angle located in the quadrant 4, then that would be the revolution, but just need extra pi over 6 to make the revolution. Then that would be the 11 pi over 6. But you have to plus the 2k pi, and the k belongs to the integers. Then you're going to divide by the 3 on both sides. Then you're going to have 7 pi over 18 plus the 2k pi, or 11 pi over 18 plus the 2k pi, and k belongs to the integers. This is the complete answer. All right, most of the time, you always have two general solutions for sine or cosine. Second part, calculate the sum of the solutions for fx equal to 0 and where x belongs to -10 pi over 3 to -5 pi over 3. Now, these questions are looking for the sum of the solution. So some of the students may confuse and just read the question too rush and consider, okay, I just need to find out the solutions within this interval. No, that's not the final step of the questions. Then you have to try different k-value. Find the appropriate k-value to find out your solutions within the interval. And then collect all the solutions together and find out the sum. But finally, the sum is going to be negative 10 pi. All right, negative 10 pi. Or you can use your solve function, give your function respect to x, and then using the little bar and give the domain. X is greater or equal to 10 pi over 3 and less or equal to negative 5 pi over 3. Then your calculator gonna help you find out the answer within the interval. And next step, copy plus each other, find out the answer. Easy. Now next is a major issue. Let the definite integral, the GA equal to the anti-differentiation from 0 to a, the fx minus 1 dx, where a belongs to 0 to half pi, all right, be given by this. Now, if the question already provide you the G function G's expressions, you don't have to worry about it or do the anti-differentiation by yourself. Okay, you can directly apply it because question gives you. Now, D1, find the maximum value of G and the value of A for the which it occurs. Now let's just expand it, all right? Negative 2 times negative 1, that's positive. So 2 over 3 minus 2 over 3, the cosine 3a. Okay, obviously you can see that when you're gonna have maximum for the function g, you're gonna have your minimum value of the cosine within the 0 to half pi, all right? Then your 3a gonna be from 0 to 3 over 2 pi, okay? When you would have your minimum value here, your minimum value, you can achieve the negative 1. So the maximum of the g gonna be the 2 over 3 plus the 2 over 3, which is 4 over 3. And the when of it, when the 3a is equal to pi. All right, when 3a is equal to pi. So what is your a value? 1/3 of pi. All right, and same thing. When you're gonna have your minimum of the function g, you're gonna have the maximum of cosine, right? Maximum of cosine. Obviously, the maximum of the cosine is where a equal to 0. When a equal to 0, the cosine value is positive 1. So 2/3 minus 2/3 times 1, which is 0, right? Minimum value is 0 when a is equal to 0. Now, third part. Find the value of a such that the 1 over a times function ga is equal to 1 over half pi minus a and multiply with the definite integral. Gave your answer correct to 3 decimal places. Now, this question, 1 mark. Should you worry anything about working step by step solve it? No. Especially the question mentioned the correct 3 decimal places. You have to just do one thing. Type the complete stuff in your CAS, use the solve function, correct. Now you have to respect to a, not x, okay? Respect to the a, and then find out your answer. Now, the estimate is 0.144, easy. Last one. So this is also a 1 mark question, but obviously if you try to type it, it's pretty hard to find out answer, all right? Let's analyze it. So the question gave the value of the k greater than 0. Find, given that the HA is equal to 4/3 for sum of value of the A. Now, we better do the anti-differentiation by ourselves this time. As we know that fx is equal to 2 times sine 3x and then plus 1. Let's put into it. Then the fx minus 3 k pi over 3 would be 2 times sine 3x minus k pi, and then plus 1. So after we put with the minus 1, we get rid of the plus 1. And then you just need to do the definite integral from 0 to a times 2 times sine 3x minus k pi respect to x, all right? And then you need to make this value equal to 4/3. Now, on the left side, we can do the antiderivative is 2 times negative 1/3 cosine, because for the sine, the antidifferentiation is negative cosine, right? 3x minus k pi. The 1/3 comes from by the chain rule from 0 to a and equal to 4/3. So as the negative 1/3 is the coefficient, you can move to outside and cancel with the other values. And finally come to cosine 3x minus k pi from 0 to a, and that is equal to 2 and 4, we cancel it, left a 2, all right? 3 and 3 we cancel, nothing, and negative 2, okay? Substitute 3a minus k pi minus cosine. Now, the 0 times 3 is 0, and then we're gonna minus, cosine negative k pi equal to negative 2. Now, here we have to distinguish the nature of the k, because k, yes, it belongs to the integer, it belongs to the positive integers, all right? However, we had no idea, is it an even number or an odd number? So first, it may be an odd number. So 2n plus 1, n is natural number, all right? Then we can see that if k is an odd number, then negative k pi should always have the same answer with negative pi, okay? Or positive pi, same thing, all right? What is it? Cosine negative pi or cosine pi is 1. So you're gonna minus 1. And then 3a minus k pi, you're gonna go to the other side, all right? For the cosine, the symmetrical properties, you're gonna have negative cosine 3a, all right? And then cosine negative, it's negative 1 minus negative 1, you're gonna plus negative 1 equal to negative 2. Now you're gonna have cosine 3a is equal to negative 3. Cosine 3a is equal to 3. Does it possible? No, for the cosine value, you should always within negative 1 to 1. So it's negative with the natures. We discard. All right, we discard the odd number. What if n is equal to, k is equal to even number, right? Then we're gonna do the simplification, the substitutions. For if k is even numbers, when you minus k pi is actually minus 2n pi, you're gonna make a whole spin. You're gonna change nothing, all right? And negative 2n pi is same as cosine, it's same as 0. The same as 0 for the sine and cosine. So it's just a cosine 3a and then minus cosine 0, which minus 1 equal to negative 2. So cosine 3a is equal to negative 1. And yes, we can find out the answer when the k belongs to an even number. So hence, if you want to find out a had a solution, okay, k belongs to 2n and n is natural numbers. Okay, you can write the z star or z plus to represent the positive integers, but think about it. What is natural number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? What is positive integers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, same thing. Okay, so you can see that you don't have to be panicked for anything, because in the final exam, you always have some of the questions kind of like the freebies. But be vigilant, do the right thing, not make any silly mistake. You can guarantee you had a decent mark. Okay, thanks for viewing my explanations and the predictions. I'm really looking forward to join another class, maybe the weekly, maybe the daily class. Please contact our admin if you had any inquiries and interest in our class, and follow our website and public account. Have a good night and see you next class.